Greetings, my shortest attention span colleagues. This is Dan from Prayer Warriors. Today, I'd like to talk about the topic, you become like your God. In Psalm 115, verse 4 through 8, it says, their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes they have but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them. Later on in Psalm 135, verse 18, it says, it repeats this fascinating observation. You become like the gods you worship. During Old Testament times, they made teraphim idols of wood, expecting their gods to inhabit them, kind of like a mini temple. They also may have been used for boundary markers too. They were at least more honest about it during those days. We worship things like pleasure, money, sex, without naming them or making wooden images. But there's still a spirit or demon behind each, because in ancient time, those false gods of power, pleasure, money, and sex all had names. When Israel turned away from the Lord in the wilderness to worship a golden calf instead, Moses portrayed them as people who turned aside quickly out of the way. In Exodus 32, verse 8, he also described them as stiff-necked, meaning difficult and stubborn like an animal. In the New Testament, Paul describes a similar problem. In the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 18, and then all the way to 32, he describes this as exchanging the truth of God for the lie and worshiping and serving the creature rather than the Creator. As a result of this foolish choice, they end up thinking and behaving like animals. We become more like our God, Jesus, after salvation, but the completed work comes when we get our glorified bodies. Then, with unveiled faces, we can all behold, as in a mirror, the glory of the Lord, and we become changed into His likeness from glory to glory through the Spirit of the Lord working in us. I'd say that's pretty good. And that's in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. So a lot better. So the question before you today is, who or what are you worshiping? If the world or money, you will become cold, self-serving, proud, but if Jesus is who you worship, you will become more kind, loving, humble, empathetic. Now, not all at once, but gradually. Regardless of how you answer, however, one thing is true in either case. You're becoming like the gods that you worship. You will be with your God in death as well. If with Jesus, you will be with Him in heaven forever. Hell was not made for man, but for Satan. And if Jesus is not your God, by default, Satan, who is the god of this world, is your God thanks to Adam's sin. Sin caused Adam to forfeit rulership of this world and turned it over to Satan. Jesus, as a kinsman redeemer, redeemed us from Satan when we receive His pardon by believing in Him and confessing Him as Lord, at which point we are destined to follow our God to heaven, either at death or in the rapture. Links are below. May God bless you.